Nearly three-quarters of Americans die with debt.
Losing a spouse is an all-consuming grief. But you know, in the middle of that emotional crisis, there's often another one silently brewing, a financial one. So today, we're going to map out the three biggest financial landmines that surviving spouses face, and more importantly, we're going to show you how to disarm them before they can ever go off.
And it all starts with this, just a staggering number. Nearly three-quarters of Americans die with debt. And look, this isn't just a statistic on a page. It's a very real financial minefield that's left for the surviving partner to navigate, often completely alone and totally unprepared. So in this explainer, we're going to give you the map.
That debt? Well, it's just the beginning of what can feel like a perfect storm. We're talking about three big challenges, and they all tend to hit at once. First, you've got aggressive debt collectors who might start calling. Second, your critical assets can get frozen solid. And third, the tax code itself can deliver this final, cruel penalty. Let's break them down one by one. Okay, let's start with that first landmine, the debt you might not even owe. For a lot of people, the first sign of trouble is this immediate, gripping fear. Am I now responsible for all of my late partner's credit card debt? The phone starts ringing, letters show up in the mail, and the panic just sets in.
And we're not talking about small change here. The average credit card balance left behind is over $6,700. That makes it the most common type of debt people are carrying when they pass away. That is a huge, sudden burden to even have to think about.
So, let's get to the crucial question. Are you actually on the hook for that debt? Well, you might be surprised to hear this, but for most people, the answer is no. But it all comes down to a really simple factor you've probably never even thought about: your zip code.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. There's this clear legal divide in the U.S. In the 41 common law states, if a credit card was only in your spouse's name, you are generally not personally responsible. The debt has to be paid by their estate, and hey, if there's not enough money in the estate, the creditor just takes the loss. Simple as that. But in 9 community property states, the rules are totally different.
And here they are. These are the 9. If you happen to live in one of these states, any debt that was taken on during the marriage is considered a shared or community debt. And what that means is you could be held responsible even if your name was never on the account. It's a critical distinction to know.
This quote from an expert really sums it up perfectly. Outside of those 9 states, or, unless you actually co-signed for the debt or had a joint account, you do not inherit a loved one's debt. In fact, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act actually forbids collectors from even implying you're responsible if you legally aren't. So, know your rights.